failure. It's a part of life. Sometimes we have big ones, sometimes we have small ones.
Let me share with you today a message. It won't be long, or complicated, or verbose. Real quick message. I'm sure you're all aware of what's going on now. Deadlines, requirements, task upon task, stacked sky high, like some sort of tower of doom. It feels like a mountain of insurmountable challenges. Well, I'm here to tell you something. And listen well. This message is short and simple. You can. Can what, you might ask? Well, let's start simple. That paper you're supposed to defend? You might be asking yourself, can I? Let me give you an answer. You can. Let's try something different. That subject you're probably not doing so well in. You might be asking yourself, can I pass? Let me give you an answer. You can. Everything that you need to do, I'm here to tell you that you can. Why? It's very simple. I sit here facing the same thing you face. One morning I lay in bed contemplating and thinking to myself, you're in no condition to do this. You can't do this. Not like this. And then I slapped myself and said, who cares? Who gives a damn? Who cares if you don't like getting out of bed? Who cares if you feel like throwing up? Are you going to get to work, or are you just going to rise there like some sort of slug? And let me tell you what I did. I got up that day and I did what I had to do to survive. Survive in this environment. Get through the day. Survive in this hellhole of a place. And I'm here to say that all of you can and should do the same. Let me tell you why. We are the hope of the world, the heroes that this planet will need. In a few years, we will all be the world's next scientists, teachers, engineers, architects, doctors, lawyers, politicians, and among many other things. You might be in a few years talking about a reclining office chair that sells for $399 on a video platform. You might be poring over blueprints in an office day in and day out. You might be angrily shouting at people for messing up their cooking. You might be cutting people open to stop illness from taking their lives. But know this, you have to find the one thing that you know you have to do when you need to keep the lights on, when you need to stay alive, when you need to keep your life and this world spinning and running. And the thing you decide to do for the rest of your life is going to change everything. When I was a kid, I was convinced that I would be a doctor. Who wouldn't? If both of your parents are doctors, it would be reasonable to think that you would follow the same line. When I became a teenager, however, I was convinced that I was horribly mistaken. And who knows, maybe in 2 or 3 years I'll realize that engineering was a terrible choice. Maybe, maybe not. But whatever you do, make sure that you have the motivation to follow through with it. Make sure that you can pursue that choice with full fervor. Make sure that when you get up as an adult and go to work, you'll say, it's going to be another great day today. But before you can do that, you need to make it now. You need to get through this year, and the next one after that, and then the next one after that. You've got to keep pushing another hour to make sure you can get to where you want to go. That is your first imperative, to make it through this. Because if you can't even do that, then why even bother? Now, here's another question. Will you? Will you get up in the morning to keep fighting? Will you run those long nights to keep living? It's no longer a question of if you can or not. It's a question of will you or not. But will you? I can't answer that for you. That's up to you to decide. I've answered it for myself. I will, because it is my imperative to continue fighting. And know this, in the words of Lightning Pharaon, it's not a question of can or can't. There are some things in life you just do. So throw away the excuses. Don't say you can't or couldn't. Don't try to sidestep the responsibility. Say you won't or wouldn't. Take accountability for what you do. Because it's never a matter of can. It's a matter of will.